Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for this day.
Welcome to the Positive Mindset Podcast. My name is Henry Lawrence, and in this episode, we're going to ask one of the most powerful questions and what happens if you truly answer it. And make sure to stay tuned to the very end because we're going to take a deep, healing, meditative breath to help us align on this message and move forward throughout the day. So this question is so important. And when you ask yourself it, truly allow your imagination to run wild. Allow your imagination to give the most positive answer, the most expansive answer that you could ever imagine. And the question is, what if? What if? Whatever you're facing right now, if you're struggling with your job, if you're struggling with your business, if you're struggling with your relationships, if you're struggling with your mind, ask yourself this question: what if, and then allow your mind to paint the picture of everything working out in the best positive way. If everything expanding in this tidal wave of love, excitement, joy, experience. You see, what happens what if it worked out? You see, you're struggling right now in something. You're tuning into the Positive Mindset Podcast. So you're struggling with something. You're struggling with your mind. You're struggling with the world. You're struggling with circumstance. You're struggling with friends, family members, relatives. You're struggling with work. You're struggling with something. What if this was that moment? What if this was that moment where everything shifted? What if this is that moment where you took that step forward? What if this is that moment where the path presented itself and you never looked back? You see, that moment exists. That moment exists for each and every person that expanded to something powerful. They maybe didn't ask the question, but they certainly rose to it. You see, there was a moment when they were down. There was a moment when it was dark. There was a moment when they were lost. And then they looked around and they thought, what if? What if I don't give up? What if I just move forward? What if I never stop? What if I stay ultimately committed to this one thing? And then they lived it. They lived the experience of never turning away from whatever it is they set their eyes on. They lived the experience of never going backwards from a decision, a choice, a pattern that they are going to build. You can make that moment now. What if you ate healthy in alignment with your goal for the rest of your life? What if you stayed focused and worked on your project to build your business for the rest of your life? What if you worked on your mindset the rest of your life? What if you did the thing that you need to do to become the thing, meaning you never quit? You never stopped. You said, I'm never going to end this. I'm never not going to be this. I'm never going to give up operating in this version of myself that I desire to be. What happens when you do that? The universe starts to test you. The universe says, okay, prove it. You see, the universe isn't telling you to prove it because it wants to stop you. The universe gives you that opportunity to prove it because when you do prove it, you're not proving it to the universe, you're proving it to yourself. And when you prove it to yourself, you believe it and you receive an experience based upon your belief. When you know that you are going to do something no matter what, when you truly know, when you believe it with your soul, when you know you're going to do that thing, you become that thing. When you become that thing, you experience, you receive, you live as that thing. It's not about becoming wealthy. It's about becoming the person that can receive in abundance what it is they desire. If you desire good energy, if you desire love, if you desire peace, if you desire joy, energy, whatever it is, when you become wealthy in your ability to see it in every situation, it doesn't matter where you are, you're able to receive it. You see, wealth, let's use money because it's such a visual thing to see, is so relative. You see, you want wealth, right? You want to feel good. You want that money. You want that bank account. You want the ability to spend. You want the ability to feed your family. You want the ability to help others. You want the ability to live carefree from bills. So you're thinking about that, but your perspective is what's the true limiting thing. You see, oh, you think someone else has more money than you. There's a billionaire out there and you're not a billionaire, so you're not rich. There's a millionaire out there and you're not a millionaire, so you're not rich. You see, you start taking this perspective that something might have more. But there's also someone that has less. You see, the ability to feel wealth, the ability to feel that financial freedom is still within. Because there are people richer than you that feel poorer than you. There are people that are healthier than you, in better shape than you, but yet they feel like they're in worse shape than you because your perspective is everything. You see, they're chasing the results, not the state of being. The goal is never to receive something. You can do it. You can write that down. You can experience receiving all kinds of amazing things. But true contentment comes from feeling the thing. Feeling the thing. Embodying the thing. So when you tell yourself, this is it. This is the moment I don't quit. You asked yourself that question, what if? And then you answered the call. Today I will be this thing. Today I'll be something that sees the good in every situation. Today I'll be someone that feels the love in every situation. I'm going to operate in alignment with that, and I'm going to get so good at finding love in any and everything. You will be abundant in that thing no matter what is going on externally. You won't need things to be a certain way to feel a certain way. That's freedom. That's true alignment of self. When you don't need something to be a certain way, to feel a certain way, you're free. You're in your power. But when you need the economy to be a certain way, when you need your friends to be a certain way, when you need your teacher to be a certain way, when you need your partner to be a certain way, when you need your kids to be a certain way, when you need these extra external things to be something, then you are not that thing. You are going to the power of reflection. You are stating, okay, I can't be something, so I'm going to reflect what's around me. And then you're going to see that the thing around you isn't the thing. And so you're going to become what's actually around you, which is the lack. And then you will feel the lack. So ask yourself that powerful question. What if? What if you don't make the choice? What if you don't commit to being that version of yourself? What if you don't commit to making the choice of alignment? Where does your mind take you? Who do you become? What if you do the opposite of that? What if you do fall in alignment? What if you do make the hard choices? What if you do give up the unhealthy foods? What if you do give up the unhealthy habits? What if you do give up the unhealthy thoughts? Where can you allow your mind to take you? Now just imagine if you allowed your mind to take you to this place, you allowed yourself to create a vision so beautiful, so wonderful, so empowering, and then you wrote it down every single day. You wrote, I am abundant. I am love. I am powerful. I am strong. I have $1 million in my bank account. I see joy in everything. I can find gratitude in every moment. And you wrote that down every single day. And then you gave yourself examples every single day. And you wrote it down. You studied it. You meditated it. And then you made a goal of living in alignment with what you wrote down every single day. Where do you think your life would go? If you got so good at finding joy in something, then what do you need in life to find joy? You don't need a high presence of joy because you'll be so good at finding it. You don't need a high presence of love because you'll be so good at finding it. You see, when you are light, it doesn't matter if you go into darkness. You are light. If you don't have the light within you, when you go into darkness, it'll be dark and you'll be praying for a light. You'll be saying, God, shine a light so I can see. When you should be saying, God, let me shine my light so I can see. And then you ask yourself that question. What if I acted in alignment with what God would do in this moment? What if I acted in alignment with what my higher self would do in this moment? What if you challenge yourself with this every day? And if you're not where you want to be, that means you've been answering the what if as not being the one doing it. What if I start tomorrow? What if I start Monday? What if I start on my birthday? What if I start in the new year? What if I start when my friend does it? That's where you've been living right now. You've been giving the power externally. Give it to yourself. It wants you to have it. It wants you to have it because you were created in the image of God, of the universe, of everything. And it doesn't mean how you look. It means what you are in your soul. It means what you are in your energy. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a deep breath. And we take a deep breath in. Just ask that question, what if? Just as you're breathing and just say, what if I did? What if I can? What if I commit? And then as you're holding your breath, imagine what comes to your mind. Allow yourself to envision yourself a life 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 year, 5 years, if you lived as if you made the right choices in alignment with self. That successful version of yourself, that peaceful version of yourself, that loving version of yourself, that healed version of yourself. See it, and then as you exhale, allow anything that doesn't resonate with you to leave you so you can take that positive energy throughout the day. So go ahead and ask yourself that question. Deep breath in. And out. We've been on this journey for a little while now. And whether that means you've been listening to the podcast for a while, or you've been on the earth for a while, or you're young or you're old, we've been on the journey for a while now. It's led up into this now. You see, it's always now. It never is not now. If you're experiencing, it's now. So right now, you have the ability to shift. You've been waiting for this moment. You've been picking this moment. So let's do it and rise up and become the rising tide that lifts all ships.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
Well, thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was impactful and gave you a positive perspective on whatever it is that you're going through. If you want to make sure you don't miss a single episode, make sure you subscribe to my email list. There's a link down below. It'll keep you up to date with every single episode. And if you want to follow me on social media, there's my Instagram and TikTok down below. I appreciate all the follows there. And if you've been listening for a little while and you've been wanting to work with me one-on-one, I still do have a few spots open. This is for a specific individual that wants to make the mental shift, that wants to put their mind on a certain frequency. That's what we call it, mindset. What setting do you want to put your mind on? If you're interested in that, you can reach out to me via email. It's henry@vibeabundant.com. That's VIBE abundant.com. There's also a link down below. You can click it, or you can message me on Instagram. That's the easiest way. I appreciate everybody that has listened. Thank you so much for the support. We are going to continue to grow. I want to continue to add these just statements. You pick whatever statement you want. This is the podcast. It's my podcast. I want to reach so many people, and so I'm putting out there in the universe. This podcast will reach 100,000 people a week. This podcast will reach millions of people. You will do amazing things. You can do amazing things. You are so amazing. You just have to step into whatever it is, the light that's within you, and move it forward. We will do it together. We will shine. We will do amazing things. Thank you so much for the shared energy. Have a great day, and I can't wait to talk to you next time.